right, let's go. Again, we're jumping right into it. All right. Do some housekeeping here. Yo, what's going on, Super? There we go. I think I can use this one. I forgot how to do this. Alright, there we go. Now we should be good. Let's jump in. Oh, it's so aggressive. So I wanted to start at the beginning of this whole Epstein situation here. So let's just start with 2015 Trump, okay? Let's just, to catch us up to speed real quick.
Bigger issue. Bill Clinton.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. A lot of problems.
All right.
Barack Obama.
So that was his take there. Let's see Pam Bondi here not too long ago.
Okay, well, we'll check back with you.
Let's let it run, let it run.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump.
Now, are they going to be releasing names? What's going on with this list? She's like, it's sitting on my desk to review.
I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files.
She's reviewing all these other files. Now, you could say she meant she's reviewing the file. I'm like foreshadowing here. But anyway, we heard that part. All right. So now, you know what? Actually, we still got another one here. Kash Patel, head of the FBI.
You say that the FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
You say that the FBI...
Okay. So this is like, we got an idea here of like the vibe, right? This was the vibe as of like 5 minutes ago, maybe. I mean, it could have been some months, but it feels like about 5 minutes, right? Now,
Could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file.
See, I was
along
foreshadowing. I was
with
foreshadowing.
MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey
Well,
Epstein.
that's not going to be good.
They were never going to be released, never going to see the light of day.
Wow. Oh yeah, appreciate you. Yeah, it wasn't actually supposed to switch in the middle, so appreciate you for pointing that out, because I'm actually going to try something. Let's see if it switches back, because that is cool, but that is not the goal here. So I've got this one. Ooh. I don't want to do that either. Okay, there we go. So that one's set to that. And then this one should eventually go back to normal. Hopefully we'll be back to normal. Back to normal. I'm still working on this stuff. It does not. Oh, what's going on, Crystal? Crystal draws. Boom. Let me see if it pops back. So it does flip back. Well, that is neat, but not exactly what I'm going for. Make sure I didn't just like crash the software. All right, well, hopefully I'm good. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's fine. I think we're back up, but I'm gonna just run it like this. I'll figure that out in a bit. But let's run it. Let's continue.
Being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively. The video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing.
Wait, whoa. We already, hold on. She's getting ahead of my script here.
And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that.
Okay, well then, yeah, we need to see more videos just from like a week, like the last week, or like, yeah, this last week, or from a week when it happened. It was August 10th, 2019, or August 9th, really. Because, well, that's the weird thing too, because, let me see. Yeah, metadata from the video. So if we look here, so CNN, so this is from when it happened. So August 9th, all inmates are locked in their cells at 10 p.m. At 10:36, based on the falsified count. So basically throughout this whole thing that like documents the guards and like everything that happened beforehand, it said that they were falsifying the counts. Basically, the guards didn't go through and actually account for each inmate. They just kind of signed off on them, which leads me to a whole other conspiracy. Because if you think about it, I don't know if you guys remember the whole body double conspiracy that was going on, where they wheeled his body out or whatever. They got a picture of him on the table, and there was a picture of his ear, and people were like, that's not his ear. Oh, it's a body double. Well, I mean, shoot. I mean, if we're like, weren't even checking the cells, who knows if the dude was even in the cell? But no, let's just try to stay grounded here. So, and yeah, the reason count is highlighted because I was like, I skipped to what was actually like, the most pertinent information in my opinion, which was that minute. Like, cause like, well, when was he actually, pronounced dead, or when did they find him? So basically, Based on the falsified count slip, the control center clears the 12 a.m. count, right? August 10th. No, failed to complete any required 30-minute rounds. Noel and Thomas do not make the required 3 a.m. count in the video shows. They complete and sign a count slip falsely saying they did. Basically, the whole time through this, based on the falsified count, they just weren't keeping track at all of the people there, apparently. And then, yeah, August 10th in the morning, Epstein is taken to a hospital where he's pronounced dead of any apparent suicide. The Bureau... dead of an apparent suicide, says the Bureau of Prisons says. But basically, it seems as though there was nobody watching this dude or like looking at this dude from, I mean, all day, for like 24 hours almost. All inmates were locked in their cell. Okay, not 24 hours. We'll say like 8 hours. 8 to 10 hours, right? But then again, they didn't even do the count in the first place. So, just crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, flipping back. So, everybody flips the script. Kash Patel, he flipped it too. The conspiracy theories just aren't true. Never have been. It's an honor to serve the President of the United States, real Donald Trump, and I'll continue to do so for as long as he calls on me. The conspiracy theories? Dude, this guy said the conspiracy theories aren't true.
FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
You say that the FBI...
So, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, the conspiracy theories just aren't true. He says it's like, what? You were the one peddling the conspiracy theories here. I mean, this is actually wild.
Shooting that took place today in Texas, and we are working with the appropriate federal agencies to get to the bottom of what happened.
And the thing is, Trump was mentioning this in 2015 about Bill Clinton. And now he's hand waving and saying, nothing to see here. And it's like, okay, why were you bringing it up back then? Why has there been this whole talk about a client list, a list? Everybody's been talking about a list. Nobody has come out and said we have no evidence of a list. It has been assumed that there was a list, right? That this dude was blackmailing people and all this. And now you're just going to come out and pretend like you weren't the one pushing all that. It is mind-boggling, and it makes me think there's only two options here. They were completely full of shit, just pulling shit out of their ass, or every person is implicated. Right, left, center, everybody's implicated in this, and it's mutual assured destruction, and the whole system will collapse if this comes out, basically. Because people are trying to push the whole, oh, Trump's in it. Sure, probably. But if they had some really incriminating stuff on him, I feel like that would have come out already, right? They seem to have pretty much thrown everything they can at him, so I don't know why that wouldn't have come out. Unless there was also some stuff in there that would hurt them. And they're like, yeah, we might be able to take him down with this, but we would be destroyed as well. So let's just leave it alone. That's what it seems like at this point.
Caroline, the DOJ and FBI have now concluded there was no Jeffrey Epstein client list. What do you tell MAGA supporters who say they want anyone involved in Jeffrey Epstein's alleged crimes to be held accountable?
This administration wants anyone who has ever committed a crime to be held accountable, and I would argue this administration has done more to lock up bad guys than certainly the previous administration. And the Trump administration is committed to truth and to transparency. That's why the Attorney General and the FBI Director pledged at the President's direction to do an exhaustive review of all of the files related to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes and
exhaustive review here.
And they put out a memo in conclusion of that review. There was material they did not release because, frankly, it was incredibly graphic and it contained child pornography, which is not something that's appropriate for public consumption. But they committed to an exhaustive investigation. That's what they did, and they provided the results of that. That's transparency.
Follow up on that,
Sure.
Caroline. Okay, so the FBI looks at the circumstances surrounding the death of Jeffrey Epstein. According to the report, this systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk?
Well, I think if you go back and look at what the Attorney General said...
Again, it's just, oh my gosh, really? I mean, when talking about such an issue, you're going to be so vague. When somebody's specifically asking you about a client list, about a specific piece of evidence, maybe, I mean, say that you're not sure whether it's a client list or not, that we've got the files, but you said, yeah, it's sitting on my desk, along with these other files. It sounds like you have the client list on your desk. Everybody keeps mentioning a list, and now you're like, well, no, actually we meant, that's your fault for assuming that, actually. We meant files. Like, come on.
In that interview, which was on your network on Fox News.
Got the quote.
Go ahead.
John Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she was saying the entirety of all of the...
It's sitting on my desk in the list of Jeffrey.
On your network on Fox News.
Got the quote.
Go ahead.
John Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
So it's assumed that he had clients. It's sitting on my desk to review. It says, like, you have the list of his clients sitting on your desk. You're reviewing whether or not you're going to release the list. You're reviewing whether or not you're going to put the names out there. It's already assumed in the question. Oh my gosh.
On your network. Well, I think if you go back and look at what the Attorney General said in that interview, which was on your network on Fox News.
Got the quote.
Go ahead.
John Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she was saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to...
The specific question was the client list. Oh my, it's just, come on. This is the biggest L. This is the biggest L.
Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that. But again, when it comes to the FBI and the Department of Justice, they are more than committed to ensuring that bad people are put behind bars. They have an operation going on right now called
That's
Summer
crazy.
Heat, which has our murder rate trending in the lowest direction in United States history. Their emphasis on violent crime and locking up violent criminals
we don't
has
care.
led to
Like,
the
this
arrest of
is,
14
yo, nobody cares. That is not what we're talking about right now. Wow. I mean, they definitely just, they're taking such a loss on this. This is wild. Cash Patel on Joe Rogan.
Right? They charge him, they indict him, and he's awaiting trial. And I've said it, Dan Bongino said it, we've reviewed all the information, and the American public is going to get as much as we can release. He killed himself. Do you think, let's play out the logical conclusion of this. Do you think that myself, Bongino, and others would participate in hiding information about Epstein's grotesque activities? Or do you think we would also participate in not prosecuting people we had evidence to prosecute people on? But the problem is there's been like 15 years of people coming in and creating fictions about this that doesn't exist. Where's the videotape?
But like, you were a part of that.
Of an Epstein Island of X, Y, and Z committing these frauds. Why haven't you given it to us? Do you really think I wouldn't give that to you if it existed? I'm working my ass off along with the leadership at the Bureau and DOJ to get you what we're allowed to give you. And you're going to get the video of the cell. And you're going to see for yourself. And we will never be able to convince everyone.
Okay, let's get into that. So what did you think before you got in office? Did you think that Epstein was murdered?
No.
No suspicion at all of it?
But I have a different background, right?
Right.
So I was a public defender back in the day. I used to spend a lot of time in jails and a lot of time in segregated housing units, SHUs as we call them, right? And so, and I've known people that have committed suicide in these cells. And I know how you get in, how you get out, who works the system. And so the way, based on public information at the time, that he ended up, the pictures and him hanging himself, I was like, man, that guy killed himself. There's just no way that you could have run an op and had people go into that cell and not have any video of it and not have any people come out and say, hey, yeah,
I'm just saying if somebody ran an op, this is exactly what they would say. Not saying he would have had a hand in it, but to act as though this is like an impossible thing.
He shouldn't have been there, the guard or this guy. There's just no access points into places like this in the detention center he was in, which I've been in.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but what I was told, what I'd read, was that the guards.
Wasn't there like a famous case of somebody being like cut up in an embassy or something? Am I crazy? Like, I mean, I know these are different like situations, but it's like, you're just gonna act like this is absolutely impossible. Like you were okay. All right.
Paying attention or were sleeping.
Well,
right?
And in short order, you'll see it.
Is that correct?
Well, it's hard to surmise that from a video, right? Like, where they like, and look, do guards doze off on the night shift? Yeah. But no one can get in to the cell. And if they had gotten in to the cell, you would see it.
But we were told that the cameras were down.
Well, I don't know who said that.
But that was
reported, and he's like laughing about it, but that was reported as the cameras were down. Now we have camera footage. So I'm confused. The guards were asleep, the cameras were down, but they didn't have the footage back in like 2019. Now it's 2025 and they have the footage. Not trying to say the footage is fake. That would be so smart. You have this fake footage essentially, and it's just footage of nothing. It's just a door, right? And then you take out a minute of it so people flip out about that. And really the whole thing is just bullshit because back then there wasn't even a tape. Now there is.
That was in the news.
It's just so funny. There wasn't a tape back then because it's like, well, they didn't have one, right? But now they have one to cover their ass. It just you see what I'm saying? It's like if they show the tape and there was some weird stuff going on, then you have to explain that. So you just say there's no tape. And then in the future, you just say, oh, here's a tape. And it's just like a door. You're just watching a door. And it's like, okay.
We're giving you all the footage we have.
So why wasn't that released like immediately? Why did this speculation escalate?
I think you'd have to ask whoever the attorney general back then was, Bill Barr.
Did you ever see, do you remember that HBO autopsy show? Dr. Michael Baden, he's a famous forensic
I don't think I've seen
scientist. That. So he's a pathologist, and he reviewed the case, and it was his determination that it was a homicide because of the way his neck was broken. And what he said was it was indicative of a ligature strangulation. And it was because of the positioning on the neck where the marks were, that it wasn't indicative of someone hanging by their weight, which had been higher on the chin. And there's a specific break of the bones and the vertebrae that's consistent with someone who is just strangled to death.
I haven't seen it.
Oh my gosh. It's just like, this was such a big case. You guys were all talking about this, talking about releasing stuff, talking about how the FBI has it. And now you're pretending to not know the arguments for why people thought that it wasn't a suicide. What are we doing?
Definitely take a look at it because that's part of my job.
You haven't seen that?
The report on that? No, I haven't looked at that.
Did you see any, was there any other autopsy done other than the official one?
Not to my knowledge, but if there was, you'll get it. And that's what we're doing.
See if you can find that Dr. Michael Baden thing.
Yeah. No,
Did you remember that show, the HBO show?
No.
Pretty cool show. Yeah. So this guy, Dr. Michael Baden, he had a long career of catching murderers, exhuming bodies, finding trace amounts of poisons, different kinds of things. And it was a crazy show, like all these wild ways.
Well, I love watching shows, and I spend a lot of time on planes. So.
Yeah, it was an old show. It was a show like from the early 2000s, I believe. But this guy was like, this very well-respected forensic scientist who would analyze these bodies, and it was his determination that he was murdered.
Yeah. And my job, going back to the core of what I've been doing since I studied Russiagate, was to get, and is to get everybody the information.
When did you get here? Epstein's autopsy points to homicide. Pathologist hired by brother claims. New York City medical examiner strongly disputed the claim that the evidence from the autopsy suggested strangulation. So let's go to by the way, this is the New York Times, and they never lie. The private pathologist, Dr. Michael Baden, said the morning TV show Fox and Friends, Mr. Epstein experienced a number of injuries, among them a broken bone in his neck, that are extremely unusual.
This is just, okay, well, this is just a rerun, because we kind of already know all this. But
it could occur much more commonly in homicidal strangulation. I think the evidence points to homicide rather than suicide, said Dr. Baden, who observed the autopsy done by city officials.
It's just, it feels so dumb. It's like, the guy knows, it's just hard for me to believe that Kash Patel is sitting there, and this is brand new information to him, and he's just like, oh, wow, that's crazy. I'm going to have to look into this. What are you talking about? Like, dude, he came with no arguments. Holy shit. Well, we'll see. We'll see what he says. He's just gonna be like, oh, my first time hearing about it. Like, what do you even say to that?
Contributor said, I have not seen in 50 years where that occurred in suicidal hanging case. Findings by Dr. Baden were strongly disputed by the city's chief medical examiner, Dr. Barbara Sampson, who previously ruled that Mr. Epstein's death on August 10th in the Metropolitan Correctional Center was a suicide. I stand firmly behind our determination of the cause and manner of death in this case. Dr. Sampson said in the interview on Wednesday. She added, in general, fractures of the hyoid bone and cartilage can be seen in suicides and homicides. The hyoid bone is near the Adam's apple. Dr. Sampson also dismissed Dr. Baden's contention that the circumstances around Mr. Epstein's death suggested other people may have been involved. She said her office had done a complete investigation, taking into consideration information gathered by law enforcement in making the determination.
So this is a perfect example of going back to my public defender and prosecutor days.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we call a war of experts. You can always find someone to come in and say the opposite.
Right.
And I used to do it all the time. I mean, I represented some of the worst humans that you can possibly imagine on earth, literally. The guys that were trafficking children from Mexico into America. And you could put up a professional expert to say, and this is what's going to go on forever. And my job is not the forever. My job is to get you absolutely everything that we can give you. And that's what
my job is to close the book on it, really.
Gonna do.
When did you become aware of this video that showed that no one had gone in and out of the cell?
Recently.
So why was it recent, though? I mean, if this death was, how long ago was this death? 2 years?
6 years?
Couple.
2019?
2019.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why time flies. So
it's crazy.
Well, again, that's part of what I'm going to try to answer for you.
Jeffrey Epstein jail CCTV.
What do you mean? What do you mean? We're going to try to answer. You only recently saw the video. To everybody else, there wasn't a video. The video was a big deal. What is there to figure out? Like, you've been on this. Like, you know what I'm saying? These are like the basic questions. Like, you go to a podcast, they just dropped a video that they said didn't exist. No answer. What?
By technical errors. Whoopsies.
Yeah.
But you see how anybody on the outside, I mean, this is like a perfect storm.
Yeah.
For something. Can you pull that article up?
Wait, what was that?
U.S. prosecutor said the jail mistakenly saved footage from the wrong cell. Sorry, Epstein, a convicted sex offender, first tried to kill himself.
So the thing is, it's like back then, it was just so wild what was going on. It was just like, everything that was happening was like, dude, what? You want us to believe that this was all just coincidental at the same time. And now you got them saying this that was deleted. Now they're saying they've got it over here. Oh, come on. It's like, it feels to me like it's so obvious. It feels so obvious that there's something here that people are trying to obfuscate.
In July last year and hanged himself in jail.
Hang on.
The craziest thing is if he really did just hang himself. Now, to me, I don't know why, it just feels unlikely at this point. It just feels unlikely that he just hung himself because of all of these other things that basically line up. I would be more surprised if he hung himself.
Reread that line.
That he first tried to kill himself in July of last year. Yeah.
How much of the American public do you think knows that?
I didn't know that until right now.
There you go.
Maybe I heard it and forgot. Did you ever hear it, Jamie?
Well, that's why he was on Suicide Watch.
Yeah, that was why he was on Suicide Watch. The whole reason, which is another thing, they moved him to a specific area for people that were on Suicide Watch. And it just so happens that the place they put him, I guess they don't check on the inmates. They were just like signing off on them and stuff. So it's like you said you were putting him in a place where he wouldn't be able to kill himself, or he shouldn't be able to, and then he did. So I mean, he's like, oh, I bet you most people don't even know that. It's like Joe said, like maybe you like knew it and forgot, because it's like, well, yeah, if you think about it for 2 seconds, he was on Suicide Watch.
Oh, okay.
So a guy
hanged himself in jail in August while serving trial on federal sex trafficking charge. He pleaded not guilty to abusing dozens of girls, some as young as 14. Yeah. Soon after Epstein's death in August, 2 of the CCTV cameras outside his cell had malfunctioned and were being examined by the FBI. Found semi-conscious in his prison cell with injuries on his neck, On 25
Yeah.
of July, after this incident, he's placed on suicide watch.
I'm not saying every single camera in the place was working. I'm saying we've got footage and you're getting it. And then you can make up your own mind. And the theories can continue. But my job...
Hopefully they do just put all the information out there.
Became aware of this footage recently.
The ones that we're looking at, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but this is like an article from quite a while ago that was saying that the footage was mistakenly erased.
Look, I mean, it goes back to the same... Ask the people that were in power then. I mean, I get it that you want to hold me to account for their actions, and
No, I'm not saying,
you, not you.
I'm not saying that.
Not you. Just the public in general, and that's okay.
Well, it's just that kind of the buck stops somewhere, and it's like you're the one that's there now, so you're supposed to be the one with either the answers or who could like sort of uncover the answers. I can't imagine like when leadership switches, they just delete every single file and you're starting fresh, and there's nothing you can look at, like notes that you can look at, or you can't pick up the phone and call somebody and kind of figure out why things are the way they are. I'm sure there's some bureaucracy there and whatnot, but I imagine there's some sort of a system in place.
Everybody today, first of all, it's very confusing because AI can kind of make anything. You know, which has got to be a bizarre position for you to be in when you're looking at videos. I mean, I've watched Viking videos. It looked real as fuck, you know? They just make Viking towns. I mean, it's really quite incredible.
He's disarming him. You gotta disarm him, right?
Now,
I don't know why. I mean, I feel like I've seen Cash Patel talk, and I don't know why. It feels like he's like tense in this, as opposed to like just other times I've seen him in like interviews and stuff, which I can understand why. I mean, this is a pretty big issue to come out and be like, oh, by the way, yeah, everything that I was saying and all the things that you guys kind of believe, yeah, it's all bullshit.
It accelerates every month.
I hope they bring up like the clips of him saying, like basically supporting the quote unquote conspiracy. Well, it is a conspiracy, right? People like, you know, behind closed doors making deals and whatnot.
I talked to Elon about it, and he said we're blown away literally every week. Every week there's some new breakthrough. We're like, wow, we didn't expect that.
Well, I can tell you after having looked at it, this ain't going to be AI.
You don't think so?
It's just not great. You know, it's like if it were AI, like someone wanted to come in and make it, they'd make it better.
But why would you make it better when people could, you know, you could have ambiguous footage that is, you know, totally generated by AI. I mean, AI can generate blurry images. AI can generate night vision. AI can generate essentially anything that's already existed, like really shitty 1984 VHS tapes. They can do that.
They can. But I'm telling you, I'm giving you the tape from the tape. You know, there's just like I'm giving you the documents from the vault, just like I'm giving you information to Congress on COVID origins or what have you. What we find is what you're getting.
Okay, so now it's saying 2019, missing jail video from the first Jeffrey Epstein suicide. So for the first attempt has been found. So maybe, let's put it into perspective, jails are not the most efficient, best run places. It's not like
Fort Knox.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's, yeah.
You know, we're working with what we got.
Right.
So, and listen, this guy.
I don't know, dude. It's like I want to like give charitability, like this part of me, but there's like something about this is just rubbing me the wrong way, because it's like, sure, there's incompetence or negligence or whatever, things fall through the cracks, but this no, that's not what this is. That's not what this is, guys. Come on, this feels so weird.
Not the only guy to kill himself in prison. It happens. I don't know how often.
Right.
All the time.
Even if he killed himself in prison. So if he was murdered in prison, crazy, right?
Yeah.
You could see why very powerful people wouldn't want
If he
him
was
talking.
murdered in segregated housing, in isolation, after being on suicide watch in a place in a detention center that I've physically been in myself, it would be fiction. It's just, in my experience, that is not doable.
It's not doable even for the most powerful and wealthiest people in the world?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think, though, that, like, if someone was...
It's just like, I mean, come on. You gotta be kind of smart, man. Why are you speaking in, like, absolutes? You could say, okay, maybe there's a possibility. Maybe there's, like, a 0.001. But you're like, no. There's absolutely no way. I'm sorry. It just makes me think, like, someone's been compromised. Because, like, what are you talking about? Obviously, you don't want to undermine the institution. But at the same time, you could, you know, have a little bit of honesty here. It's like, dude, if there's somebody powerful enough that blackmailed like every single blackmailed and paid off every single employee of that place, why would that be impossible? It wouldn't be. Is this not an impossibility? Is it unlikely? Would it take a lot? Was it this or that difficult? Sure. But there is a world where it could happen.
In a position where a guy could release
He's
information.
like, people are acting like they never killed themselves in prison. And this dude, and I'm like, you've acted like nobody's ever been assassinated. Like,
that could potentially damage the most wealthy people on earth. You would have a concerted effort that's unprecedented.
Sure.
You would have the resources that we couldn't even possibly comprehend, all pointing towards eliminating this one person.
Thank you.
That could be done.
But I mean, so many people have been implicated, right, already, and some of that information, what they did to Prince Andrew and everybody else is already out there, and so that's the conspiracy stuff that me and Bongino and the folks have to say. Look, we will give you everything we can, and then we will have done our job. Also,
but could they investigate to see, like, hey, what are the dealings? Okay, Bill Clinton flew over there without a Secret Service for philanthropic reasons. Can you maybe document some of that? Can we see what that looks like? Can you just like investigate the people because or the situations that are coming up and like who's being accused? Can you like do those investigations and then bring those forward and say, these are the reasons, you know, we looked into it. These people brought this forward. We don't see anything here. It just feels like you're not even looking for the client part of it. When this all blew up, the whole idea was he has an island, he's doing this freaky stuff, he's flying people out, powerful people. This is the same situation with the Diddy thing. He's having his parties, he's getting blackmail material on people to use on them. It's like the same types of stories, and then the people kind of slide off. Not to say they're guilty necessarily right off the bat. Obviously, you're innocent until proven guilty. But then the way the story stack, they're like, okay, well, this guy definitely seems to be in some shit. And then they slide. Maybe they do have blackmail, you know? Maybe. I don't know. Like,
I had a shred. Me, Kash Patel, had a shred of evidence. The Russiagate guy, the Jan 6 guy, the COVID origins guy, had a shred of evidence that this guy was murdered. I would be the first guy to bring this case hard and fast. And I would even doing press conferences every week on it. Mm-hmm. The first guy. That's what I'm asking people to play out to their logical conclusion. I'm not Comey. I'm not McCabe. I'm not the guy that was in the seat before.
But it's like, we don't really know you. See, that's the thing. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I would like to trust him. But it's like, you have a job to do. And whatever game that you have to play. So you are those other guys because you're sitting in the seat. We have to look at you and treat you as though you are the same as them until you prove otherwise. And when you come in here and after that, basically flip-flop your whole energy on this situation, hopefully, do they acknowledge what Pam Bondi said and what he said? If he could acknowledge it and say that he had the wrong idea or something, cool. But if we're going to, not even really cool, but if we're going to sit here and pretend that he wasn't on that camp as well, or in that camp as well, that's super frustrating.
Wildly different background. I've been putting out the truth my entire career. Why would I risk all of it on this guy?
I believe you. Catch the letter.
Oh, yeah.
I believe you. I just think that, you know, the problem is we've been fuming on this conspiracy for so long. And we love conspiracies, don't we?
No,
as a country,
it's
there's
good,
so
right?
much fun.
I mean, you know, they make
JFK tapes. Come on, like release the documents. We all love them. We love them. We love UFO ones. We love everything. We love the.
You like the UFOs? Yes,
They're exciting. We don't want to hear that he tried to kill himself in July and then succeeded in August. And look, I could imagine why the guy wanted to kill himself. He was going to jail for the rest of his fucking life.
Sure.
And in jail, sex offenders for children are not treated well.
And also, by the way, most Americans haven't, nor should they. Have you ever spent 1 minute in segregated housing?
No.
It's the worst. The absolute worst. Like, you and your background, you could probably handle it, right? Like, you know, just in all reality. Most Americans, you put them in there for 5 seconds, they're going to slam their head against the wall. Literally.
Oh God, just suck him off a little harder. Jesus. I'm sorry. There's something about this I feel slimy. I don't know what it is. Something feels so off about this.
Yeah.
Immediately.
And now he's over here trying to. But you're strong. You would handle that well. These places that break all sorts of people. You're a different type of person, but a regular American. What the fuck are you talking about?
Sure. I could only imagine. And I could only imagine this guy knowing that it's over. And what do you want to do? Do you want to...
Yeah, and
then
then
who knows who the fuck he's working for? Let's just put that aside. Now, if you're working for... Let's just... We don't have to name names.
But you see, like, this is my issue, is the whole time is Joe is, like, on this idea of there's clients. He's working for somebody. He's an agent. He's procuring these, trafficking these people for other people, for clients. And Kash Patel has yet to push back on any of the client stuff. He's just like, why don't you, like, is there an idea that he was doing this or not? And if there isn't, why aren't you pushing back on that?
Speculate. If he's working for some...
It's almost like they're saying there's no list, but he was doing that shit. We just don't have a list.
Agency, some group, some foreign group, and they decide to target...
Maybe foreign group.
Because he's going to jail for the rest of his life anyway. They decide to target his family if he testifies against them. I could see where if I thought that it was like I'm going to be in jail for the rest of my life, or I tell and my family winds up being killed or destroyed, or
you could see why somebody would make the decision. Yeah,
is to end it in prison.
Sure,
honorable, cowardly thing,
whatever it is, like
whatever. It doesn't really matter.
At some point, that guy was going back in a gen pop, and the one thing I'll tell you about prison systems is the people they eat are child predators.
Yes.
And he was going to get eaten.
Well known, yeah. And they probably wouldn't have protected him. Yeah. So the narrative has always been that there's video. Now, what is the chain of custody? Is there evidence that there is video? Is there evidence that it was moved around, stored, protected from people looking at it? Like,
you're going to get all that information. Like, that's literally what we're putting together. And we're going to give you every...
He won't say anything now.
And that's the whole point. We can't fill gaps by making stuff up, and we're not going to do that.
And you have to be methodical.
And we have to be... That's the other thing, right? We're reviewing not just the video. We're reviewing everything as meticulously as we can, because that's what we owe the American people. That's our job. And I don't want to rush to the sticks or the podium and just say, hey, look what we found.
Right.
And then be like, oh, sorry, I forgot the 4 seconds.
It's just kind of funny because he was all like, they need to release it. They need, you know what I mean? Or had like this idea that they have this information. And you can sit here and say, oh, well, it wasn't me. It was the last guys. But it's been sitting here for 6 years. I'm sorry. I mean, I understand their job. It is probably complicated. There's probably a lot of moving pieces and shit too. However, it's really not that complicated of a situation either. You have the video footage of the prison. Release it when you get access to it. The client list. Is there a list or is there not? Do you think he was working with somebody else? That he was supplying people to somebody else? Maybe another thing to look into. Why is he so connected in this world? I was like falling down that rabbit hole earlier. Why are these powerful people meeting with him specifically? What service does he give that they need to come to him? All of these powerful people, that they couldn't go somewhere else. Because what people are saying is, well, it's probably this illegal shit. But maybe if you could point to something else, something that, just he exclusively had, that would be a good argument. But we're just hand-waving all of that stuff and just pretending like it doesn't exist. And it's super, like, again, I can only say super frustrating. But it's like it's just like they're spitting in our face. They're spitting in our face.
So, if we miss 4 seconds, they'll be like, oh, well, it's in the 4 seconds you missed.
Right.
So I'm
How much can you talk about what you've seen?
Not yet. Just what I've told you.
Can you say you've seen anything?
No, that's the point, that there's nothing in there, like in the video. You guys would be bored.
You talking about the video of the murder or the suicide?
The suicide.
But what about the video from the island?
Oh, that's sorry. So you're talking about
yes.
So
sorry.
So again, we're going to give you everything we can, and people have to remember, we're not going to re-victimize women.
Oh my God.
Back out there. It's not happening.
Nobody's asking you to do that shit, dude. For the love of God, like, it's just like, I hate this.
Wins. Not doing it. You want to hate me for it? Fine.
Nobody.
Again, logical play out.
Straw man.
If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
If you have access to it.
I don't
Period.
like that. Like, don't you think I would? Don't you think I would? Just say whether you'd have it or whether you don't. Whether it's there or whether it's not. Stop asking the questions. Stop asking, don't you think I would? Dude, that's like, nobody knows you. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe Joe knows you a bit. Maybe. I can't imagine you guys are like super fucking tight though. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. If I have it.
So
where else would it be?
Right. If you have it.
Right.
But you can't say that you have it.
No, we're giving you everything we have.
So far.
Everything we have so far is
Have you guys gone over all the video that's available?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That's what takes so much damn time.
Right.
And
why does it feel like he's not like answering?
Not of what you want. The people out there have filled the void with can't wait to see X, Y, or Z.
Right, speculation.
And I'm like, here's the other thing I've been asking for, right? Openly. If you have information on this, call us. Tell us. The best resource we have is the American people in the world.
Right.
Get me the tail numbers. Get me the flight, get me new information, and I will run that down.
So this narrative might not be accurate, that there's video of these guys doing this.
Exactly.
Is it possible that the video was taken and destroyed?
Well, you're talking about, decades worth of stuff, right? Remember, we have what we have pursuant to lawful search warrants and authorities from the case that was done however many years ago it was done. That's what we have. If other people have other stuff and they want to give it to us, bring it.
Have you guys reviewed everything that you have?
Almost. Yes, we have, and now we're figuring out how to put it out.
Since we were talking about fake news, this
I don't know, man.
Because it's been going on since we've been recording here.
Uh-oh.
Elon and Trump seem to be in a bit of...
What are the chances that this happened at the same time? Why does this feel like this was planned, this was orchestrated?
of a spat, Joe. You want to check the tweet that Elon just put out a little bit ago?
Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day. Jesus Christ.
I'm not participating in any of that conversation
What is
between
he?
Elon
Have a
and Trump.
nice day, DJD. So much dig is.
That's a great way to yeah, a great way to end it.
They're going back and forth.
Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Well, he said he was disappointed in Elon.
Yeah, he said he told him to leave.
Jesus Christ, that's a crazy thing to say. How does he know? Does he know that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files? Or does he have access to the Epstein files?
I don't know how he would, but I'm just staying out of the Trump Elon thing. That's way outside my lane.
What the fuck are they doing?
I know my lane, and that ain't it.
I just don't. I mean, I understand he owns Twitter. I think it's bad for your mental health. I think posting things public all day.
Yeah, probably. But anyway, so that's the Epstein stuff. We're like pretty much caught up on most of it here. It's just absolute insanity. I cannot wrap my head around this. I did not expect them to just, I guess I could, well, I mean, what did we expect, right? Did we really expect powerful people to go down? That was probably never going to happen. Maybe some sacrificial lambs, like somebody gets in trouble or something, but no, they're just going the whole, it was all a hallucination. There really is nothing to see here. What Trump said here, are we still talking about this guy? That's wild. I swear. Well, he better never bring up that guy again either. Oh man, that is some shit. That is some shit. And the craziest thing is, I mean, he brought him up in 2015. This dude didn't kill himself until 2019. So that was a 4-year difference right there. So that dude was probably just chilling at that point. So Trump brings this out of kind of nowhere, if you think about it. It like goes out of the public ether, sure, but like, damn, just to like throw that on somebody's name, and then 10 years later, pretend it never happened. Like, okay, bro, all right, you can't. It's just like he was such an instrumental part in fueling that. Like he did add a lot of fuel to the fire. And then to pretend like, you know, there's nothing to see here is wild to me. But anyway, guys, that's it for this stream. I'll probably hop back on and do some gaming and whatnot. I think I already, oh yeah. No, I think we got, we did like a solid hour, I think. So I'll be back. Thanks for kicking it. I don't know if there was like really anybody here because my stream is all messed up because I'm trying to get some stuff to work and, well, it's trial and error. So it was not like encoding right and it kept buffering and this, that, and the third. So yeah, but